Alright everybody, Illuminator of Fortune back with another video. I just got back yesterday from playing at Titan in Champaign-Urbana, their Ursula Challenge, and I actually won. I got first place out of 18 people. It was crazy, because I was the only person there, I believe, I was the only person not playing Ruby or Steel, with this Amber Amethyst just-in-time deck. And you may think it's crazy. You may think it's like, how does this work? This is just hyper aggro. Kinda. It's like I like to call it heavy aggro because yes, I have some hyper aggro parts like Piglet and Lilo. Those are great. There's not very much, and then it just becomes fives, fives and fours. And at first, I thought this deck was a joke. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't win. But on Saturday, I placed top four in a 28-person tournament, and then yesterday I won with an 18-person tournament. And I was playing good decks. I mean, my top two. Like the final match yesterday was against Emerald Steel, a really good player I know. And somehow he got game one playing on the play, and then I won the next two. So I, maybe it was a miracle. One of my other friends was playing, and he also got top eight yesterday. He's playing the same thing, except he traded this Maleficent for three Musketeer Donald Ducks, which I think is actually a good trade. And I don't think this Maleficent stays in the deck. It was not very helpful at all. I don't think I ever used it once. So I was just gonna show some games with this deck. Play against. I was gonna show the Ruby Amethyst matchup and see how you can absolutely cook on turn six. Just slaughter Ruby Amethyst. Uh, Maybe I'll make another video with some other matchups. And at the end of the video, I'll go over my matches, play by play, explain how the deck works, why it works, what you want to be mulliganing for, how you want to be strategizing, so you can bring this into set champs and hopefully come out on top. Alright, so this game against Ruby Amethyst, I could show you just how brutal this deck can be against RA. So we want to we have the just in time, that's what we need. That's what we're looking for. We'll ink the dock because if you have just in time, you don't need the dock at all. And I might ink the Wendy Darling just because the Lilo isn't too important actually. Three Isabellas, we don't need that. I'll play the Wendy. We'll just quest there. So they didn't play one or two. Not really sure what's going on. Got the mail. This is not a great showing, but I'm still going to show off how powerful this can be. We'll ink You've Forgotten Me. Play Just in Time. Play Isabella. And we'll quest with these two. Go to 6. And then from here on, Isabella is just going to steal the game from them. Yeah, there's no card that's going to save you here, man. Some lists play Teeth Inhibitions, but still that's not going to kill Isabella. So don't even worry about it. So we'll quest for 4 there. I'm going to ink Wendy, and I'm going to play Dolores just so I can draw another card. Now, I could have, at this part, I could have quested with these two and then Isabella and gone to 11, but I really don't want them to be challenged yet, because my goal is once they play Medusa on 6, then the next turn I quest with everybody that wasn't questing before. And this is how I get those turn 6 wins. But here I might actually opt to go to 17. I think I close this game out right here. If I quest with everybody. Go to 17. And then next turn, if they play Medusa and kill Isabella, it doesn't even change anything. Yeah. So that's a good game right there. So if you're someone who wants to really just crush Ruby Amethyst, you hate Ruby Amethyst, you keep going against it, you keep losing, play this deck. It'll feel great every time. We don't even need to play anything. I'll play the Pooh, just for fun. Inkabel, we'll play Lilo. Salt in the Wound there. Quest with Isabella. Go to 21. Alright, now I can show you a game where I go first, which is even nastier. If you thought that last game was brutal, this game's going to go crazier. So, we have the just-in-time Isabella. I'm looking for a 1-drop. I didn't get it. It's fine. I can do without the 1-drop. I don't expect to be using Rapunzel, even though she's my beloved. Unfortunately, we won't get to use her. We can ink dock. We have 2 just-in-times. Get the Pua out there for that 2 lore. Apply pressure so they can't Flynn. That's fine. Now we can ink You've Forgotten Me. Play just in time on Isabella. And start the mess that is 4 lore per turn. Now, if you're wondering, like certain cards I have in here, this Maleficent, at first my idea was, later in the game, if I play Maleficent, I can just quest for 2 and draw a card, keep my cards in my hand, just keep going, keep the pressure on. But being a 2/3 really is not very scary, so I'd personally opt out of the Maleficent. Also, for her to draw a card, it requires her to quest, which does go against Isabella. You've Forgotten Me is a little piece to see after I play just in time, and then on 4 I can play You've Forgotten Me to slow them down, or take out those last 2 cards they have in their hand. Which here, it's not going to see much use. But I am going to play it. I don't think it's... Okay, got rid of a B-prep. I could challenge, but there's not really a need. Yeah, they can't take out Isabella until the next turn. So if I had another You've Forgotten Me, I could cripple their hand even more. I don't think there's a Medusa in there, but if there was, I could take it out. Let's draw another card. Belle is absolutely amazing. Quest for 4. And now if they Medusa the Isabella, I go to 18 still. They're actually gaining a lot of lore. But I think, unless they bounce Goat, we still got this one. Nope, looks like we're good. So that was a closer game. That's a game that goes if they have all the removal they need, and also not having a 1-drop. So they had everything perfect, and I did not. But we're still going to close out the game. And I went with a more aggressive approach. I could have challenged, slowed them down a bit, but I felt like I was going to beat them, and I was right. So here is another game where they go second, or where I go second, they go first. We can see just how it's a little more difficult. I can't lie. I mean, games I've played, when they go first, it's way harder to come back from that. But we do have a decent line here. Should be fairly aggressive. Unfortunately, we don't have a character that can challenge their Flynn, so they're going to gain 3 lore. But this next turn we will. Isabella is great here, but I think because we're playing second, I actually need to shift my focus into keeping these characters alive, which would mean playing Nani instead. Now they have to do a lot of trading to take out Nani, but Nani also gives us the ability to siphon damage, to draw cards, or move the damage to take out the characters they don't want to quest with. So now you can see they challenge there. I'm actually going to challenge the Broom. And then I will ink Nani, play Rapunzel, and heal the 3 damage off of Nani. And then quest for 2 with Lilo. Now we have a lot more cards to deal with, and I can do the same thing next turn if they do not Maui. But they do Maui because they always have what they need. But this gives us a different option. I can challenge into the Chernavox Followers with Rapunzel. I'll ink the Pooh. Then we can move the 2 damage onto Maui from Rapunzel. Now this is kind of the worst case scenario, when they get really everything they need, and you're on the back end. But I'll show you that you could still come back from this fairly easily. So I'm going to challenge here, and heal the 2 with Rapunzel. Now they're down a little bit on ink, so I'm actually going to ink the Dock, play Piglet, quest for 2. Now we've got a really healthy board that can all quest for 2. The Tremaine, I'm going to get rid of Rapunzel just because her stats are the lowest. Now we can quest with 3. Quest for 3 with Piglet. Quest for 2 with Rapunzel. I'm actually going to challenge here. And I will heal 2. Let's get some more cards. And I'll pass because our board is very strong right now. And they most likely will be prepared. Yeah. Now let me play the castle. I will ink Piglet, play just in time on Pooh. I play Pooh because he's a 5/5, so most removal does not take him out. Castle is going to bring us to 16 after that second B prep. I am going to play Mal and just move her to the castle. If they have a brawl, that would be tragic. Another Be Prepared. We go to 18 off the castle, and that is game. But we could still play the Isabella. Go to the castle just for fun. And a goat would have closed that game out even faster. So there are changes I would make to this deck. As you can see after those matches I just showed you, not everything is perfect. I would trade these Maleficents. I don't get much use out of it, ever. I'd trade it for 2 more goats, just to have that chance of a top deck instant lore win. You could maybe drop You've Forgotten Me. It's not super important. I would trade this one Pua for 1 more Wendy because the steel matchups are significantly worse than Ruby matchups. Maximus is great, so maybe drop a Pooh for a Maximus. There's actually, every time I play Steel Song, a lot of them play World's Greatest Criminal Mind, and that is just brutal against Pooh. I'll play him and then I forget about that card, and they take out Pooh for not really any risk, and that's really unfortunate. So hopefully you like the deck, hopefully you see it and you want to play it. Alright, so this is a terrible photo that I took, but here's my deck laid out. Got lots of foils, got my promo Rapunzels. It's really fun, it's really solid, it looks good. There's my 2 Ursulas, there's the champion Matt. Not to flex, but just to show that this is good, and an off-meta deck can win. I played all meta decks all day. That's all I played against. Except actually, the first match, my first round, I played against my friend who just played this deck, who swapped the mouse for the Donald. It was a mirror match. We won one. Not a huge deal, but it was a weird, like, out of all the people we got matched with on the first game, it was each other. I didn't like that much, but no, it's fun. So Let's talk about matchups, specifics. Ruby Amethyst, as you just saw, super easy. I almost win turn 6 every time. In person, I feel like they get a lot less lucky. The AI tends to always have what they need. Emerald Steel's where it gets a little icky, a little rough. If they get the Bucky and the Diablo and they get the removal, it's usually, there's not a lot you can do if you're not top decking, just absolute banger 5 cost cards. Belle and Rapunzel are 100% needed because they're going to be chipping away at your characters. If you can get turn 3 Nani after they shift Robin Hood, you can attack Robin Hood with Nani. So she takes 3, he takes 3, and then play Belle and move the 3 damage from Nani to Robin Hood to take him out without them drawing a card. That almost locks in the game, at least the early game. And then from then, you gotta keep up with the Maximus, more Rapunzels. You really don't want to play these low drops that just die to your swords. Dolores can be great, just keeping the pressure on a 3-3 for 2. And then Isabella can also be nice at taking out Diablo, or if you don't have a lot on board, questing for 4. There's pretty much out for everything. You have a way to kill anything. Maximus and Pascal can be great at taking out evasives as well. It's because Maximus gets protected by, or Maximus protects Pascal, and then you can give the support. So Pascal can take out Pegasus, Diablo, whoever you need. Wendy is amazing also. If you can get like Lilo, Nani, or Lilo, Wendy, Nani, and then they swords, and it'll kill the Lilo, but the Wendy still has just 2 damage on her, but she's still there, questing for 2, behind the Nani, who you can heal or move the damage from. Chernobog's great if you can get out on Emerald Steel. It doesn't usually happen. I won a game with it just by top decking it, and it closed out from 17 to 20, which was amazing. So Emerald Steel is kind of 50-50. You need the bells to kill Flynn Rider. But overall, it's not hopeless. You can do it. I won. It worked out. Uh, Amber Steel. I played a lot of Steel Song. I don't know why. I'm not used to seeing Steel Song, but I was just my nemesis for the past 2 days. They have a lot of removal. But if you can get your big bodies out, like Maximus, it just shuts them down. A lot of them play Pride Lands, or they just have big health characters, 4 health characters like Vanessa. Maximus can just take them out in one shot, or support someone else who can. It's super helpful in order to keep them from taking out your characters like Doc. Chernobog's followers usually gets active, or not Chernobog's followers, Chernobog gets active pretty quick after they have a whole new world, so you could just wait for them in a whole new world, drop Chernobog. They might play World's Greatest Criminal Mind, but if they don't, this is going to wreak havoc on their board. Isabella doesn't do a lot in that matchup, but sometimes she can close out games. I had that happen. They don't have a lot to do with Castle, so keep Castle in mind if you're trying to mulligan or you see it in your hand and you don't want to get rid of it. You've forgotten me to take out their whole new world could be helpful, but generally you want them to play it. But this can help take out their swords, whatever removal they're holding back, maybe a shift Cinderella. Use Belle to take out their shift targets. If you could take out an Ariel, a Hood, a Cinderella, take out whatever they need to shift onto. And also keep in mind that moving damage negates resist. So if they play a shift Cinderella and she has 2 damage on her, and there's someone else with 3 damage, you can move that 3 to Cinderella and take Cinderella out. I almost pulled it off. I didn't need to. I was just in a huge lead, but it's always an option. Then Sapphire Steel, I played against it once, and I got absolutely melted. It was my top 4 match, and I just got O2'd. There wasn't a lot I could do. I wasn't getting the good aggro I needed, and even when I did, he was just swords. My big stuff wasn't big enough, so I don't think that matchup is very good at all. You just gotta go fast, I guess, and hope they don't get what they need. There's not much I could say to tech for. It's just kind of unfortunate if you get matched with Sapphire Steel. You just gotta get lucky. Hopefully it's in your, if you're doing best of 2, you can maybe 1-1. That's the dream scenario. Uh, Ruby Amber, I haven't gotten the chance to play with it. Play against it, I mean. But I don't expect it to be too bad. It just doesn't seem like a super scary matchup when you're going this fast and taking out this much stuff. Yeah, beyond that, those are kind of the big decks at the moment. Ruby Amethyst and Emerald Steel, and neither one of them are really scary. Ruby Amethyst is way too easy. But I love this deck, man. I love it. So hopefully you take it to set champs. I think you'll win, and maybe it's just the player. That's what I've heard. It's the pilot, not the deck. But I think anyone could win with this. I mean, my friend, he picked it up the day before, and he got top 8. I played this the night before my first set, got top 4, and then the next day won. So, let's go for it. I know it's weird, it's Rogue. Ruby Amethyst is just so easy with this. You're just sitting there waiting to get matched with Ruby Amethyst. But Amber Amethyst is great. It's beautiful. It won Atlanta. Oh, not Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta. But that was last set with Mufasa. It was a weird deck, but it was really good. I think this is also good as aggro, heavy aggro. So thanks for watching. Uh, if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll answer them. If you wanna, I could, we could talk. If you message me, add me on Discord or something. I can go over the deck one on one. We can practice. But have a great day. Thanks for watching. Good luck out there.